everybody, welcome back to Up, Up, and Away, a comic book movie review and news podcast. My name is Joe Gilpin. I'm joined here as always by my brother,
Matt,
and my sister,
Melissa.
Actually, we're usually not joined by you, Melissa, but it's always an honor to have you around.
Okay, an honor, my goodness.
Yeah, going heavy on it. Say yes to life. This is a comic book review podcast.
Sure. That's a good message.
This is a comic book review podcast. We get together every Tuesday. We talk about comic book movie news, everything that's going on in that world. And Fridays, we get together, we watch a movie, and we break it down in an excruciating amount of detail.
Yeah. Sadly that we did it for this one.
Yeah, unfortunately we had to do this for this one. We've been doing the X-Men franchise, part of why we have you around, Melissa. You're an X-Men fanatic. So I felt it was appropriate to have you around for these. Mm-hmm. We watched X-Men, we watched X2, today we're watching X-Men The Last Stand.
Right, not X3.
Not X3. Oh, it's called X-Men The Last Stand, am I right? Or
That's right, no, it is not called X3.
Yeah, as it should be.
Yeah, as logic would, seem to, follow.
There's no logic in this movie.
As you can tell already,
it's full of weird stuff. There's no logic.
Yeah, as you can tell already, we were not the biggest fans of this movie. This movie had a lot of departures production-wise from the previous ones. It was actually written, story by the same people, but it definitely feels very underdeveloped. Mm-hmm. And the say again?
It's rushed.
It's very rushed. This movie they had to end up shooting in about 2 weeks, and so they really were under the gun to make this movie happen as fast as possible. And it shows, and it has a completely different director, and he's an insane person. He's an insane, maybe sex offender? We'll find out. He is...
hey, if you want to do an X-Men film, you kind of have to be.
Yeah, apparently, Jesus Christ.
Oh my...
Sorry, Bryan Singer.
And Brett Ratner.
And Brett Ratner, who made this movie.
Not Matthew Vaughn.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matthew Vaughn, staying solid so far. Praying for you. Keep it solid, brother. Keep it solid.
Keep it 100.
Yeah. Keep it at least 1800.
Yeah.
So for this movie, we are going to launch into some stats about it. Then the plot. We're going to break down the plot in detail. And then we're going to get together and talk about the characters and all that. Mm-hmm. So, let's start with some baseball card stats. Matt, please.
Sure. This movie, like we said, was directed by Brett Ratner. It's the third movie in this trilogy.
And he had nothing to do with the previous two, important to know.
No, he was brought on kind of as a journeyman director.
Yeah. And it's produced by the same people, Lauren Schuler-Donner, Ralph Winter, Avi Arad. It was written by Simon Kinberg and Zach Penn. The whole gang is back together in the cast. Hugh Jackman, Halle Berry, Ian McKellan, Patrick Stewart, and all them are all back. The movie had a budget of $210 million. And you want to go ahead and guess what it made?
$210 million. I'm going to guess this movie made $250.
Oh, way more.
$350.
$459.
Damn.
The movie made a good chunk of change.
Apparently. Good for it.
And it was released in the United States on May 26th, 2006. So... yeah, you want to guess the Rotten Tomatoes score?
Rotten Tomatoes score. I'm going to guess this movie scored 40%.
More.
45.
58.
There is no God.
Yeah.
Is what I'm reading.
Compared to, other movies we've seen rated on this site.
Yeah.
We rarely ever agree with Rotten Tomatoes. We have on several occasions, but not typically.
No.
So... Joe, you want to just hop right into this?
I suppose we should. There's not really many more baseball card stats. I will say for this movie, moving forward, this is the end of the X-Men movies as we know them. Mm-hmm. And they're eventually going to have to do a hard reboot. Right. They try to move more towards a singular film focus with the X-Men Origins Wolverine. Mm-hmm. That fails. And they end up rebooting entirely with X-Men First Class. Yeah. So this is the last that we're going to do of this line. I feel comfortable... Kind of. I feel comfortable moving into the plot-by-plot, beat-by-beat analysis.
Sure. The film opens up with not Professor Xavier talking, as the first two did. It starts 20 years ago. We see Professor X and Magneto going to meet a young Jean Grey at her home.
Yes, and they are dressed to fuck.
Yeah.
They are dressed in full-on,
yeah.
We are going somewhere after this to fuck people regalia.
And they invite her to join their school. So, It's the X school.
Yes. And Jean is powerful.
Yeah, we see her list of cars and shit.
Yeah, with her mind.
Yeah.
With her thick legs.
Yeah, she as a
Damn, this girl's CrossFit as fuck.
Parents like, can you believe this?
This is a split from the comics where, in terms of the Phoenix origin, here she is just naturally this powerful, and Xavier feels it is his duty, I suppose, to help control this in any way he can. She's really, really put across as super fucking powerful.
Yeah, she is. And we'll talk about that later. So, and then the film jumps 10 years.
Real quick, good scene, bad scene, the opening scene.
That was fun.
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I
thought it really got across pretty well. And the little girl who played Jean did a pretty good job.
She did.
She did. Good job, little girl. Hey, little girl.
Hey, little girl.
I don't know, Brainiac's your funny art too. I hope in Justice League, whenever they face off against Brainiac, that line's kind of snuck in.
Sure. If you know what that's a line from, we love you.
Yeah.
You get to know.
Don't just Google it. The film jumps then 10 years to where we see a young boy doing something, and his father is then banging on the door. He opens it.
Yeah, the boy's crying.
There's blood everywhere.
Yeah, it's covered in blood.
And we see that when the father's able to open the door, that this little boy is cutting off wings that he has grown.
He is starting to sprout wings. He's obviously a mutant.
He's Angel.
He is Angel from the comics.
Warren
Worthington.
The third.
Yeah, and he is met by his father, who says, "Not you." And it's a very powerful scene. I really enjoyed this scene.
Yeah.
Really good scene.
Yeah. The little kid does a great job in this scene. There's a lot of shame. There's a lot of betrayal.
I'm sorry.
This self-mutilation. Oh my god, when he apologizes to his father. It's really getting across just how much of an untouchable task this puts you in as a mutant.
Yeah.
Now, finally, we get to present day. Not only finally, those are two good scenes.
It's not present day, it's the not-too-distant future, as a Chiron reads.
True shit. Such a fucking cop-out.
I know.
This pissed me off. Because I haven't seen this movie in a while.
You may as well say exciting times.
Yeah, daddy. And it's the X-Men, and they're whipping ass in the not-too-distant future. And,
what a lazy sentence that is. But that's what happens.
Yeah, and, the Storm is getting mad at Wolverine, because she's like, this is a defensive, we need to do defense for some reason.
We need to regroup, we need to take our time.
Yeah.
That's what she's saying.
And he's like, fuck that shit, and he says, hey,
lighting cigars off of dumpster fires and stuff.
Yeah, he's really, his characterization is really off.
The dialogue is completely wrong. It's the first time in this movie where you really have to say something is not right here.
Yes, big time.
Because none of his dialogue is anything that he would be saying. There's no leadership.
Yeah.
There's no maturity. There's no
this is coming off Gene's dad.
There's no protective impulse.
We've seen in the past two movies is there.
Yeah, this maybe is the guy that we met back in the cage in X-Men,
Maybe.
but this is not the guy that we left at the end of X2.
I don't even know if it's that guy.
Yeah.
I wish. And so Wolverine asks Colossus to throw him.
Fastball
special.
And so Wolverine is able to cut the head off of a Sentinel, which we get, kind of.
Classic.
I don't know why.
It was a little bit of a nod. I think it was a little cheap,
but
because it shows that they've dealt with Sentinels.
Yeah, exactly.
If we've dealt with Sentinels, just show us that.
Yeah.
Show that fight. That sounds exciting.
It was exciting.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
It was exciting when we got to see it 10 years later.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was great.
I get really annoyed with movies that'll do that, that'll present you a better movie that you could be watching instead of this movie.
Sure.
It happens as well in Batman and Robin, where he starts referencing Superman. Like, well, don't tell me about Superman and then not give me the world's greatest.
And so we see that once that head was cut off, this was the danger room. And then none of that happened.
Right.
A little annoying, but that has happened before in X-Men comics. That is from source, right? Am I wrong on that, Melissa? They do that from time to time. They'll present a dangerous situation and then reveal it was a training simulation.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it sucks. It's a little bit of a cop-out, but I get it to start out the movie in that.
Yeah.
I would have liked maybe mid-scene they cut to Kitty Pryde or something, calling the shots in the control room or something.
Yeah, by the way, we met Kitty Pryde in this scene for the first time.
Yeah, Ellen Page.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Good call, Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see that Scott is having a real tough time.
He's very depressed.
Yeah.
He keeps listening to the Smiths.
The Dido.
My tears grow cold, I wonder why. Scott, what?
What? He's also wearing Oakleys. Fuck off.
It's a very good product placement.
And honestly, it kind of works for Scott.
They're pennies. They're Oakley pennies. Just like some weird red tint of them. And so he's very despondent. He's a dick to Wolverine. And he leaves. He just rides away on his motorcycle.
Yeah, he pieces out. He is still torn up about Gene stuff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot, and everybody is.
Yeah, everybody is. I love that does have consequence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
That's something I really do like at the beginning of this movie.
Right when we jump right from, we jump right into that in this movie.
Yeah, right from her death to them dealing with it is very... I guess it really is a not too distant future.
Thanks, Joe.
Well, everyone, that's been up and away. It's been fun to do this podcast. I'm jumping out of a window.
I'm jumping out of a window for a different reason.
Don't want it to look like we did a cult thing.
Melissa, you're going to have to explain to everybody.
No thanks. I'm going to get on my bike and go to Alkali Lake.
And so, yeah, Scott goes to Alkali Lake. He does. And he's just, I guess he just goes there for sentimental reasons. Or no, he hears her.
He's called, yeah.
No,
she's
she calls
him.
to him
Yeah.
to go to Alkali Lake. It does not freak him out at all. None of his training as an X-Man kicks in to let him know that maybe this is a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Maybe she's just horny as fuck.
Maybe talk to the professor about this.
Yeah.
Maybe borrow some of his 70s fuck clothes.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, I just heard, I imagine that he's very country. Hey, y'all, I just heard Jean, I think she's alive in Alkali Lake.
Why is Phoenix awakening now? Are we ever given anything in the text about why this...
We are not given anything in the text, no. I mean, you can guess that maybe she's given time to... She's healed?
She's restored her energy.
Yeah, I mean, but there's nothing textually to suggest that.
We know she's in a cocoon of energy, basically.
Yeah, I think they say that.
Yeah, they
I think
say that.
Storm says that later.
No, I think Xavier does.
Oh, Xavier says that, okay.
So, yeah. Cyclops goes there. She appears.
Mm-hmm.
They kiss. He dies.
Yes.
Yeah.
It cuts away right when he's starting to realize something is wrong, and the veins on his face are starting to pop up and bubble in weird ways.
Yeah, it's like he's being, it's like she's a vampire.
Yeah, he's being distressed in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Vampire.
Yeah, vampires in the X-Men. They would never be dumb enough to do that.
And so we see that, what exactly happens? There's like a distress thing, like sent back to the X-Mansion, or like Xavier
hears Jean, and no, everyone hears it.
Yeah, everybody hears it.
Everybody hears it, and they go to Xavier, and he says, Alkali Lake.
Yeah, everybody go to Alkali Lake.
Left boot, got it.
And just Wolverine and Storm go, and they find that there's some weird shit going on, like the gravity.
By the way, yeah, just 2 people.
Yeah.
For sure send the team. Everyone got a psychic distress call. Round the troops, ladies and gentlemen.
A psychic distress call from someone you thought was dead.
Yeah.
Like your friend.
No medics, no nothing.
But also,
Xavier, no.
Their team, that is kind of the team right now. The rest of the team is teenagers.
Kids, yeah. They're not prepared to fight. Yeah.
Colossus is like the third oldest one.
Yeah.
And that's a long way.
Yeah, if this mission had gone, if the Blackbird had crashed midair, and those two died.
Yeah.
Colossus is the leader of the X-Men, it seems. Or Iceman, maybe.
Yeah, and...
I think Colossus.
Those two, like, I don't know if they're old enough to vote.
Yeah.
Can you buy me some beer?
Smoke some.
So, they also find Scott's sunglasses floating.
I thought that was a nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that.
Yeah.
Because it shows that something is definitely wrong with him.
And that's what's more symbolic of Cyclops than his sunglasses?
His leather jacket. His oaks, man.
Oh shit, his oaks!
I would kill for that line. If I was Zack Snyder, Simon Kinberg, I would demand it be in there.
Listen, we all have one friend who's defined by his weird sunglasses.
Sure.
It's true. Mainly because he's blind, but...
Jeez.
So, everybody's like, oh no, Scott's dead. Kind of. They don't really deal with that in this movie.
The Scott's death does not get touched on.
That's it.
We are pretty much done with the Scott character, and there's never any weight given to Scott's death,
which is good.
Which is surprising given the amount of weight they had given to Jean's death, and that Scott was the leader of the X-Men. I mean, he should have an equal amount of weight here.
Yeah, I mean, are we left to presume that nobody liked him?
Yeah, they didn't have that level of respect for him. I really am just left to. He's basically given a potter's grave.
Yeah.
Literature-wise.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful. It makes no sense that just... Xavier doesn't even touch on, like, hey, what happened to Scott, by the way?
Yeah, you think Xavier at least would,
Yeah.
Something.
It's just, that's how rushed this movie is.
Sure.
Yeah.
You'd think it was rushed. I thought going in this movie was 75 minutes long. It's an hour and 10. It's still very rushed. A couple of things that we skipped over that I want to touch on. We've skipped over the scene where we meet Beast for the first time.
Did we skip that? I thought that was coming up after this.
Is it coming up after this?
My thing kind of sucks.
Just keep reading, and we can touch back on the things later.
No, but that is the next big thing to happen. I don't know if it was exactly after that scene, but I felt we should at least finish the...
we can go line for line. That's fine.
And so, next Beast. We see that he's part of the president's cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Secretary of Mutant Affairs, being played by Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
We've all seen Kelsey Grammer fall through that stage on
I was pretending to be.
Yeah, I was at a Small Kingdom or whatever the thing is.
It's a small world. Oh god!
Yeah, pretending to be a UN interpreter. And he just falls through the stage after saying the most pompous thing anyone's ever said. He immediately pays for it. I think he walks off this stage. I don't think he falls through it.
No, he falls through it.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay, that's even better. Yeah, he's playing Beast.
Joe, I've watched that movie. Not that movie.
It's a movie.
It tells a tale. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. It's a fine movie. A couple of questions about the Secretary of Mutant Affairs. One, why is there one? I don't think that is ever touched on.
No.
Two, why is it a mutant? It seems like it would probably be a person, because they are still afraid of mutants. That's where we left the last movie.
They're pretty
Humanity is willfully, openly afraid of mutants. So it doesn't really make any sense to have a mutant in the inner circle of the presidency.
Yes. I mean, there
assumedly in line for the presidency if something goes wrong.
Yeah, right. I mean, there is a soft implication, and maybe this is me reading into it, that it was a kind of olive branch, that we want to help understand mutants. We want to make sure that we have a mutant in this position. In the same way that if you were to have an advisor on, Asian Americans, you would have an Asian American there.
Sure, like how the school board has like a couple of kids on it.
Yeah, sure.
You know
exactly.
what I mean? Right, that's a thing. Yeah, you have to vote in like student members of the board.
Yeah, student members of the board. Yeah.
But that's such a huge change from the last movie.
Yes, where the U.S. government was openly, actively racist towards mutants.
Actively trying to genocide them.
Yes, exactly.
It is a huge change.
And they never touch upon it.
Not even once for a second.
No.
So this movie is very willful about, well, we will bring this continuity in, but we won't bring this continuity in.
And they also bring in a mutant who is the biggest, such a mutant.
There's no way around him being a mutant. It's not like it's Storm or something where it's African hottie, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Or just somebody who can't, for lack of a better term, pass. They are in your face. Beast is in your face. He's a big blue furry. He's a beast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wolverine called him Furball. And so they go. Also, I'm a sucker for politics in these kinds of movies. So I wish the scene was better. We see Homeland Security Secretary Trask. It's Bolivar Trask. Announces that they lost a track on Magneto.
Not a midget.
Not a midget, and also a black man. I guess some real fucked up shit happened in that timeline. Whatever made Magneto super old and ugly is also what turned Trask into a big black dude. Into Bill Duke. They've also successfully captured Mystique.
Right.
Yes.
And we see surveillance footage of her being interrogated by the FBI. She attacks one of them and calls him a Homo sapien. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty cool.
They touch on something in this scene. The most interesting part of this scene to me is when Mystique is called Raven. She demands to be called Mystique, and she refers to Raven. What's her
Darkholme.
Raven Darkholme. She refers to Raven Darkholme as her slave name.
Yeah.
And that's not the first time this has come up in this series. Magneto, I believe, also brought it up in one of the earlier movies. Do you think that is an appropriate use quote, the name you had back before you even knew you were a mutant, as your slave name?
No, I think it's an ugly appropriation.
It's an ugly appropriation, right? It doesn't work.
No.
Mutants are not enslaved.
No, they're not.
She's free. She's an open, wanton criminal.
Yeah.
It's not like she is. Mutants are not put in work camps.
And there's been no, history of slavery.
Buying and selling them.
Yeah. And there is a story in the, in the comics.
The 616?
Yeah, the 616. Back in the 616, Genosha, where mutants have been enslaved,
But we don't have that here.
We don't have that here. Come
Not
on.
by much.
No.
You need to earn. If you're going to invoke slavery, earn it.
You gotta throw in some.
Yeah, you gotta earn it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so after watching that, Beast is able to deduce that this is not why the president had called him here, and that the president shows him these files showing him that they have basically developed, not they, but a company has developed what is essentially a cure for the mutant gene. And they're using this boy named Jimmy.
The suppression of the mutant gene as a device, as a plot device, as a concept. Very interesting.
Sure.
Very ethically interesting.
Yeah.
Is a mutation a disease? I mean, you would have to say the concept of a mutation, as we know it now, is technically a disease.
Mm-hmm.
A cancer cell is a mutation.
Right.
But the X gene, is that a disease?
No, it's a feature. It's not a disease.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you don't want it, you should be, I mean, in the same way that, if you don't want a mole or something, you should have the option to modify it.
I took a mole off.
Cool.
Took a knife to it. I'm just kidding. I got it professionally removed.
They took a knife to it.
No, he had like a weird freeze gun.
This immediately, I do like that immediately, as soon as this is dropped in, people are viscerally either opposed to it or really drawn to it in a curious kind of way.
Sure.
Yeah, because I think, you had characters like Rogue who wanted it. And I felt like...
That's the next scene.
Okay, I don't know if I should get ahead of it.
No, it's when Beast arrives at the X-Mansion to tell everybody. Mm-hmm. And it also is one of my favorite parts of the movie, is when Kelsey Grammer says Storm's name, and he goes, "Oh!" He just reads it so weird.
For the accent he has decided to do, he does not get that.
Yeah.
Oh!
It's very vain.
Yeah.
And then we see that they're also announcing it now. The cure at Worthington Labs that's who's made this cure, Warren Worthington's father.
Mm-hmm.
And Rogue is like, oh my god, is it true?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, it's true. But nothing's wrong with you, Rogue. That's how Storm
That's what
feels.
Storm says,
Yeah,
She says that she shouldn't even be curious about it.
Yeah,
which is a problem.
Right. I mean, look, this is something that is actively hindering Rogue's life.
Yeah, her life sucks because of it.
You
Like,
know,
some mutants can live with it.
and some mutants can do awesome stuff because of it. Like, Storm can control the weather.
Yeah, she was an African goddess.
Yeah, I mean...
She was worshipped.
Yeah.
Rogue was feared.
Yeah, I mean...
And Beast looks like that.
I mean, I know that, like, I think Storm is afraid of erasure of the mutant race.
Yeah.
Almost an apartheid, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's something to seriously worry about when...
I think Xavier and Storm in this scene are, for lack of a better term, dicks.
Yeah.
I think they're trying to impress their experience as mutants onto others.
Yeah.
And I think that is, we've talked about it before, Xavier can be a real asshole. It is not without precedent. And I think it's going to come back in this movie that he is a low-key asshole.
Yeah.
He is imposing his decisions on others.
Sure.
He sure is.
And I think this is an early shading of that, should you so choose to read.
Yeah.
Big time.
So, on Alcatraz Island, Warren Worthington is making the public announcement.
Because if you want to be a good guy, station yourself in one of the world's most famous prisons.
Yeah, they try to say, like, oh, it once was a symbol of this, and now it's this. And
Yeah,
Nope, you look evil as fuck.
You can't do that, pal. You don't get that choice.
No, it's pretty much they wanted at the end to have Alcatraz as... Somebody thought it would be cool to have Alcatraz as a battle location.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But in the story, like, dude.
that was real life. It'd be like, that's the fucking, like...
You're definitely, on the wrong side of history.
It's the dumbest thing I ever heard.
And so, we see a group of mutants call for a meeting at a local church to discuss this issue of the cure. The leader of the meeting is they want peaceful approach to the government, but everybody else is like, fuck that shit, man.
They're all suspicious.
Yeah.
Is that suspicion right? Is suspicion natural here?
Sure. How can they not be suspicious? They're going to inject them with something.
Do you
know there's a real cure.
Do you feel that some kind of betrayal is inevitable? Should they feel that some kind of betrayal is inevitable?
They've been feared and condemned this long. I don't see why not.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean...
Makes a lot of sense, yeah.
Yeah, there's...
Why start helping us now?
Echoes of, Tuskegee trials.
Yeah, that's a good pull.
Mm-hmm.
And we also see that Magneto and Pyro were there, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Magneto gives a rah-rah speech saying, like, oh, are you with us or are you with them?
Right.
There's nothing wrong with us. Kind of echoing Storm. So Storm sounds like a bad guy. And it's at this point that Magneto is able to gain 4 new members of his Brotherhood. And they're listed very strangely on IMDb and through wikis and stuff. One of them is Kid Omega.
Which is a guy, in the comics, he's a guy named Quentin Quire, and he is a extremely powerful telepath, and he's actually supposed to become the Phoenix at some point in the future. But in this movie, he's a porcupine.
We also see Callisto, who is the speedster. We see Arclight, who is the one with the vibrations, who claps. That makes it sound like she's like clapping. And then Psylocke was the 4th one.
Really? That she was called Psylocke?
That's what she's listed as. And we don't get that.
So this is just them not doing their homework.
Nope.
And them not having any foresight, and then just saying, throw names on them.
Yeah.
Pick 4 big names. Throw them on there.
Yeah.
And by the way, these punk-ass mutants are questioning Magneto's dedication?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, they're like, who are you, dog? And he's like, Magneto! The government's looking for me, dog!
This is literally in real life the equivalent of when people called RuPaul transphobic.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 100% that same thing of like, who are you talking? I've done this forever.
Yeah, exactly.
I was the original. You are here because of me.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I really want Magneto to beat the shit out of them.
I really want a Magneto RuPaul thing going on now.
So, Magneto is very interested in their powers. I don't know how much interested he is in them. But...
Yeah.
He needs use out of people. He needs to build ranks.
Yeah. And so the scene shifts to a heavily armored police convoy.
Stop moving mutants. It doesn't go well.
Right.
Wherever you catch them, just build a thing.
Dig a big hole, put them in it.
We see that they're carrying Mystique here. She is shackled in the back. And she personally promises to kill them all.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that now scene shifts back to Alcatraz, where Beast is meeting with Warren Worthington and the rest of the scientists. And as he meets Jimmy, this young mutant who they developed the cure through his mutation, as Beast goes to shake his hand, Beast's hand turns normal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he looks human.
Yeah, his hand looks human.
He rehumanizes.
Yeah, and it shows how powerful this kid is, and I think that's an effective scene.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, whoa. So...
It humanizes this cure in a very real way. I think this is actually a pretty good plot device, to make it not just a vial of whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally a kid.
Yeah.
It's a child
Yeah.
that we are dealing with.
Yeah.
He's a little too old.
You think so? Yeah.
He's
How
a
old?
little too old.
Like 12?
I think it's like 13.
13?
Yeah, he's like between 12 and 14.
Mm-hmm.
I think like between 7 and 10 would be a lot more effective, personally.
Yeah, that would be good.
But, hey, Vaya con Dios.
Yeah, earlier we touched on the Cyclops stuff, mainly just because Cyclops was really short. The Cyclops stuff was real short in this movie, so we put it back to back. This is actually the point in the movie where Cyclops and Jean meet,
Yes.
and where Cyclops dies.
Yeah.
And so when the Storm and Wolverine, where we left that, was Storm and Wolverine at the lake, they find Jean.
Yes.
They find her unconscious body.
She's all corpsed up.
Yeah, but she is alive.
Yes.
She's not corpsed up, Joe. She's brought back to Xavier's labs, and where they're running tests on her. Xavier, he can only theorize that she is alive based on the Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
This dormant personality inside of her that harbors so much power, and that she had a cocoon of energy around her. That's what's kept her alive.
Right.
For this amount of time. So...
This is a dual personality that Jean has developed because of her powers. When she was a child, she was very powerful. It was going to be out of control if she let that go. So Xavier hid this personality as deep down as possible, locked it away in a cage, is the metaphor used.
Yeah.
And Jean continued her life while the Phoenix was left to rot.
Lay dormant.
Lay dormant, whatever you want to say. This is a lot to drop on us 3 movies in.
It sure is.
Yeah, couldn't you planted some seeds?
Mm-hmm.
No, because they had no plan to do this.
I know, but I'm saying.
I feel like I'm looking at a Cousin Oliver kind of thing of like, no, this kid's lived here all along.
Yeah.
He's just been in the kitchen getting a snack all this time.
And it also, I mean, it's called the Phoenix.
Yeah, why would you call it the Phoenix?
Yeah.
Something that rises again.
Yeah.
It doesn't, dumbass. Call it the tortoise. Call it the 3-toed sloth.
Let's talk about Xavier's ethical stance here.
Mm-hmm.
For him, without permission, it seems, and without consulting anyone, giving Jean this split personality.
Yeah.
This is really fucked up.
Yeah, big time. And without checking it. Either.
Yeah, without checking it. I think there's a line in about during our sessions. So it's made to seem like he's been trying to help her work through it. But to drop all of this on us, you have to earn that. And not with 3 words in the middle of a very busy scene.
Yeah, no.
It just doesn't work.
No, it's not earned whatsoever.
Xavier is an asshole here.
Yeah, and
pragmatic, perhaps, but dishonest.
You barely glide by it by the charisma of Patrick Stewart.
Yes.
Patty Stews,
and he's doing his best.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But this is a fuck up. This is a misstep.
Well, and I think that's why what's coming up is going to come up.
And now we see that the first person to undergo the procedure of the cure is Warren Worthington's son, Warren III.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty shocked to see Ben Foster.
Yeah.
Who's like a good actor.
He's a great actor. He was just in that movie Hell or High Water.
Which stars Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges as well, who are also great.
Yeah.
You said that was a good movie, too.
That's a great movie.
Warren, he really is starting to have second thoughts, the son, and he breaks free and sprouts his wings.
Yeah.
And it's majestic.
Oh, awesome.
And he flies away into the sky.
Woo.
And that's how that scene ends.
Sure.
He just flies away.
Also unearned, but so be it.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of there.
Yeah,
a lot of the angel stuff is just sort of there.
Yeah, it does very little for the plot. You can take it all out, and it doesn't affect this movie whatsoever. Because even the father doesn't have to deal with the fact that his son is a mutant. That does nothing to change his course throughout the movie, which it should. He has a mutant son.
Yeah.
He should have some kind of empathy, or maybe that.
I think he was. Well, he said later, I was just trying to help.
Yeah. This is very similar, and a lot of the stuff in this movie is very similar to what they do in the Wolverine and the X-Men animated series.
Yes.
And it's dealt with a lot better. And I don't know if maybe that's because they have a lot more time to let it breathe.
I was going to say, television is just seemingly an inherent better medium for comic book portrayal.
Right.
You know,
also just storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so
imagine if we got an 8-part Netflix Civil War. Tell me down.
We're all
Wipe me down.
We're all
tired.
freaked out. We're all gonna go take a nap for a while.
I need a hot toddy.
Scene now goes to the prison convoy, because they got a very big convoy.
Mm-hmm. And they're rocking through the night.
Yeah, and so...
Stop moving mutants, you fools. I cannot emphasize this enough. Anytime you see a mutant being transported, just know it's going to go horribly.
Yeah, they really do, though, need a Secretary of Mutant Affairs, because they're really shitty at dealing with mutants.
They never learn from their mistakes.
They never do. I mean, Beast is doing a really bad job.
He sucks. But we see Magneto. He is able to flip the truck.
By the way, given what the government's official stance seems to be, being the Secretary of Mutant Affairs really is a race traitor position.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You are the Sonder Commando.
Yeah, you are the Tokyo Rose of the X gene.
Yeah, absolutely. You are a capo.
So Magneto is easily breaks into this prison, and he frees Mystique, and he's also able to free Multiple Man and Juggernaut, who we meet.
There's a moment coming up later that I hate.
Oh, God.
And the one of the guards who was thought to be knocked out is actually comes to. He's awake, and he shoots his cure weapon at Magneto, but Mystique takes the bullet, quote unquote, and it turns her human. And she is butt naked. And so Magneto is just like, you're one of them now. So,
tough luck, Toots.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that? For him to abandon her just because she's not a mutant anymore?
Oh, that's so, horrible.
It doesn't make any sense. For him to be this militant is not really Magneto.
No.
It's to have the most primary view of the character and never take a second thought about it.
Yeah.
No, he is a loyal person.
Yeah.
That is part of him. He is loyal.
And
whatever you want to say about him, the people around him, he takes care of.
And in other movies, we see him love, humans.
Yeah. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
He still has love for Charles.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. God damn. For him to leave her there almost breaks the character for me.
Yeah.
We also see that because the cure has been weaponized in this manner, Beast quits.
Which I think works well.
Sure.
I think it's smart.
Absolutely.
It's why they introduced him in the beginning. This is pretty much the end of his arc. I think he shows up later during the fight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this is emotionally really the end of his arc. And I think for him, this is the right point to have him drop out.
Yeah.
So I actually think the Beast arc generally works pretty well.
Sure. I agree.
Wolverine is watching over Jean as she sleeps. She is laying on that gurney still.
Parallel of their scene in X-Men.
Yeah.
First movie.
Where he was the one on the gurney. But she awakens, and she's super horny.
Yeah. Well, this is Phoenix right now.
Yeah, Phoenix wants it.
Yeah,
and Wolverine is giving it to her.
She has thought it up.
Yeah, she sure is.
She's essentially a succubus, really.
Yeah, big time. Big time.
She's played as a classic succubus type.
She's like scratching his body and shit. He asks Jean where Cyclops is, and hearing the name Scott actually snaps Jean back to the front, and she's just saying, "Help me."
Right.
And
I'm sorry, Famke Janssen isn't a strong enough actress to do it. She's just not strong enough to play two personalities inside the same body in the exact same scene.
Yeah.
She's just not a strong enough actress to do it.
Yeah.
She is begging Wolverine to kill her.
Yeah.
Yep.
And because of her inability to control her emotions. And Wolverine is unable to do so, and he pleads with her to let Xavier help her, but all of a sudden the Phoenix manifests again, hurls Wolverine out of the room, ripping off the door, disintegrating shit, and walking out into the underground halls of the mansion. And so Phoenix is loose. Meanwhile, Magneto, he's confirmed with Pyro, Juggernaut, Multiple Man. He has the gun that was used to cure Mystique, and he is basically using this as a lightning rod to incite more units to his cause.
Right.
And that's pretty powerful.
I think rightfully.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is correct right now.
Yeah, yeah.
He's actively a correct person.
He's saying they're going to try and wipe us out.
He's accurate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is why he's quick.
That's true.
Callisto comes up to Magneto telling him that she has sensed a massive electromagnetic force coming from a mutant.
By the way, Callisto has two powers, which is really annoying.
Yeah.
It's one of my least favorite things that happens in comic books. It happens a lot in X-Men, where people just have way too many powers.
It's like Cartman when they play Make Believe.
Yeah.
Because I also have
yeah.
super strength, so that didn't actually affect me.
Martian Manhunter effect, I call it. Martian Manhunter has every power to me.
Yeah.
He has super strength, he can phase through stuff, he's a mind reader, he can shoot eye beams.
He can't shoot eye beams.
He might be able to shoot eye beams.
I don't think
he can. I think he can see through stuff, he can make himself super dense and hard, he can shape shift.
Yep.
He can fly.
Can't shoot eye beams.
No,
but he is a lot of power.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And then his mutant weakness is fire.
Not mutant, yeah.
His weakness is fire. The Flash's weakness is fire.
Yeah.
All of their weakness is fire.
That's pretty funny, though.
It's such a fuck you. It's such a, like...
A weird...
It should be something, like, even stupider than that.
Like Swedish fish. Oh no, I get really fat. Then he's gotta work really hard to burn it all off.
Or he should be, like, crazy, allergic to milk.
Yeah.
Dairy.
Lactose intolerant. He's crazy lactose intolerant.
Oh, my Martian physiology.
But the Haagen-Dazs is good.
He's on the toilet all day.
Try not to face through that. My room's underneath that.
Your human pipes were not designed for this.
Oh, God. Poor Green Lantern, or whoever that might be.
I was imagining Flash.
Yeah, he's the jokester.
Wow, this went off the rails.
Yes, it did. But Callisto senses that this mutant has to be Class 5. I guess this is just a universal class ranking.
Yeah, right?
Well, no, we all learned about this in high school, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the taxonomy.
Yeah, exactly.
She says that this mutant is more powerful than Magneto. And Magneto knows who it is. And he says, where is she? And it's like, you don't know who that is. you fucking...
It's not like there's one mutant more powerful than you.
Yeah, because there could have been...
Iceman is technically more powerful than him.
Oh, yeah.
You could argue Storm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Storm is definitely.
So, Xavier and Storm find Wolverine knocked out. Xavier's pissed, saying he warned him about the Phoenix. And he senses that Jean has left the mansion, but she's also put up a psychic barrier that is fucking with him and enables her to block his not his thoughts, but just like him finding her.
Right.
So that's an issue. So the three of them, Xavier, Wolverine, and Storm, go to Jean's old house because that's where they met her, and Magneto is also there with the Brotherhood, and that's just where Jean is.
Yeah.
They just guessed right.
Yeah.
Why would she go back there?
It doesn't make any sense for Jean to go back there. It makes even less sense for her split personality, Phoenix, to go there.
Yeah, you think Phoenix would go to a male strip club?
Or I guess maybe
Vegas.
It's just horny as fuck.
I guess maybe because the Phoenix personality, and I'm just now thinking about this, the Phoenix personality got shoved down when she was like 11 or whatever. And so this is the only place she knows? Could we read that into this?
Was she Phoenix at 11?
Yeah, I think she was supposed to. That's what they were hinting at when she was lifting all those
That
cars.
was the last time she was integrated.
But she was like, look at how powerful I am.
Yeah, no, I think that was when Xavier was like, this girl is way too powerful. I gotta take care of her.
But I thought they said that like Phoenix only comes out in like emotions of like rage and stuff. That little girl was acting like a little girl.
Yeah, no, that was the last time. That was what I was saying when that was the last time she was integrated.
Okay,
that's the last time they were together, and then Xavier
Yeah.
split them.
Okay.
And put her away. So she has not lived as an X-Man. She really wouldn't have any connection to the X-Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
She would have a connection to this house.
Yeah.
So upon second thought, this makes a little more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we might have given them too much credit though. She might just be in that fight.
Well, if it's in the text, it's in the text.
Well, they didn't say it though. You can extrapolate the meaning. That doesn't make it so. We are giving them credit.
It's extra textual no matter what happens.
Yeah, it took us 10 minutes to get there.
I doubt anybody put that together watching it in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's because.
Yeah.
So, they're all trying to, or just Magneto and Xavier go in, and they're trying to talk her down.
Right.
And Magneto's like, he was holding you back, Jean. And Xavier's like, yo, bro, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, right.
And so, shit starts going down. Wolverine and all them come in, Juggernaut and them come in, and big fight breaks out. And to culminate it, Jean disintegrates Professor Xavier.
Yeah.
Killing it.
It is super brutal and very graphic.
Yes.
It is, it's intense. I'm trying to find the right words to talk about this scene. Xavier gets completely taken out and killed.
Yes.
We watch Xavier get killed.
Yes.
How do you guys feel about this scene?
It's sad. Just because it's like, oh no, Professor Xavier.
It's sad. He gets killed, and he gets killed by one of his students.
Yes.
I think this scene is fine up until the very end of it. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I don't like when he turns to look at.
Not even that. I'm not even finished. I haven't even read the part that I don't like. So up until now, it's like that's fine. You know what I mean? If they would have planted these seeds throughout all the movies, it would have been more effective.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was just like, if we would have seen some of these sessions or something.
Yeah, that's really the problem. It's just all this is coming out of nowhere, and now we're an hour into this movie.
We're being told.
And suddenly, we are just told that there's been this huge conflict.
Yeah, the closest thing we got, I'm just remembering now, is that we were told in the first movie that the professor was helping her to develop her telepathy.
Yeah, which
Which is almost the opposite of what we're
You have to really put on some track shoes to draw a line between that and he's suppressing the Phoenix.
Yeah.
You have to really get to work there.
So, this scene ends with her going off with Magneto. And Magneto come with me, my darling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Magneto, shouldn't you be freaked the fuck out?
Immediately super concerned.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. That's like Charles is his friend.
Yeah, and Charles is friend. At least some of his followers should be freaked out.
Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, man.
Oh, we just won this.
World star. This is not handled well.
Oh, it's, so bad.
And Storm and Wolverine are just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And then we see that we both laughed at this, Joe. The next scene is Xavier's wheelchair just in his office.
Yeah, somebody took his wheelchair and put it back in his office.
Uh-huh.
It's a nice shot, but somebody had to put that there.
Uh-huh.
Who the fuck put his wheelchair in the middle of that office?
This is funny. Just leaving it there. This is where you belong. And it shows everybody's mourning. Storm gives a eulogy at a memorial service at the mansion. Moira McTaggart is there. And we see Iceman, he's trying to cheer up later on that night. He's trying to cheer up Kitty Pryde, so the two sneak out and go ice skating. Why did we need that fucking scene?
It's for Rogue's story. It's to help her decide whether or not she's gonna get the cure.
Goddamn, bitch, we'll be like, hey, can I come ice skating too? Just fucking ask. Like, I don't think it was romantic.
Well, I think she's worried she's gonna lose Bobby if she can't, like...
Stop looking like Anna Paquin, man.
Damn, that was fucking harsh. Is it?
Which is well, and it's also a horrible message in a way.
Yeah,
it really is that you need to change to accommodate your.
You need to change, yeah, and that you also, you gotta put out your boy's gonna leave you.
Yeah.
This is the equivalent of putting out. And like you said, Rogue has packed her bags and she's ready to leave, but she's actually confronted by Wolverine. But he's not ordering her back upstairs. He says, "I'm your friend, not your father. Just do what you want." And which is like, yeah, like that makes sense. You know what I mean? She wants that fucking cure, go take it. And she leaves. She bails. So,
is it by now that she's gone back to being referred to as Marie, or does that come later?
I think that's now.
Okay. I think her going by Marie is obviously it's very meaningful.
Yeah, symbolic.
It's symbolic. She's back in the world.
Yeah.
Because when she left the world, she started being called Rogue. And when she left the world, when she no longer felt safe in the world. Now she feels safety again.
Yeah.
Thanks to this potential cure.
So now we see that Magneto's new Brotherhood has grown into a pretty good army who has built a small camp in the woods. Magneto approaches Jean. And she's just like standing off in the fucking corner looking at a tree. Famke Janssen doesn't say anything in this movie.
No, she's just like standing around.
Yeah. And I saw a thing that was like, she studied a lot. Says, get ready for this role. I'm like, bitch, you barely did anything.
Yeah, she's just standing around wearing a coat. It's really like,
wearing a duster.
Yeah, wearing a duster.
Where'd she get that coat? She make it?
I'll put it this point. The X-Men's conflict in this movie is all reactive.
Yes.
It's 100% reactive.
Yeah.
Which I have a little bit of a problem with because I think that the X-Men stories tend to work a little bit better when they're not just trying to reinforce the status quo. I think there is an inherent problem with that because the X-Men live in a world that they don't like.
Yeah.
And so when they're trying to bring the world back to something that they don't like, I think there's a little bit of a rough patch you have to go through. They never have a proactive plan about how they're going to stop anything. They just take everything as it comes and deal with it in the moment. It is very poor leadership. Maybe that's because Scott isn't there and Xavier isn't there.
Yeah, that's unfair writing wise to Storm, who is we have a scene in the beginning where Xavier says that he wants Storm to be the leader. In case he's not there anymore.
Yeah. He almost senses his death, it seems.
Yeah.
Even though she didn't become a Phoenix yet.
By the way, second movie in a row, basically no Scott or Xavier involved in the X-Men's team. Right. Because last time, we know that Storm's in the lead when you're gone. We just did it.
Yeah.
In the not-too-distant past.
Yeah, we didn't need that scene. We should know that Storm is...
It's very clear, yeah.
Who else is it going to be?
Well, it's not going to be Logan.
Yeah.
He doesn't want it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll do it. Just like somebody you've never met. Oh yeah, Frankie will do it.
Shut up, bird boy.
And so Magneto holds up that weaponized cure to Jean, and she just obliterates it. She disintegrates it. And Magneto says, "You can grow into whatever you want to be, but you must fight for our freedom first." He says, "Because we'll all die without that." And Callisto actually does tell Magneto that she's worried about Jean's presence because she senses that she's unstable. Pyro, though, believes that Jean is still one of the X-Men at heart, so he doesn't trust her. So Pyro, who's very loyal, because he's been very loyal to Magneto, he doesn't want anybody being a traitor. Pyro goes too far when he says he'd kill Xavier if Magneto let him. Magneto quickly just beats the shit, not beats him, but just gives him a reminder, Charles was a good man.
Yeah.
You know? Which, why didn't you have that? Why did you... This doesn't make sense, you know? Like, now it's affecting you. Like, you're fucking using this giant weapon and you're yelling at me. She's the one who actually killed him.
Yeah, right?
So, yeah, because they both share a dream of, like, mutants having a place at the table.
Sure.
Basically.
Ironic, then, that he was killed by a mutant.
Sure.
Xavier was killed by a mutant.
That you're weaponizing.
Yeah, that you create. Yeah, that you created, essentially.
Yeah.
Beast and Wolverine, Storm, Iceman, Shadowcat, they're on the Academy, and they're wondering, because I guess Shadowcat and Iceman are now top members.
They're at least battle trained in some sense.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you're gonna pull in anybody, it's gotta be these couple.
Yeah.
They clearly have ideas that they are going to be X-Men, full-fledged.
Yeah.
Soon enough.
And knowing the comics, like, they're big.
No, it's fine. I have no problem with that.
I'm not saying there's a problem, I'm just saying it is interesting. So Beast is saying that it would be best for the Academy to end and the students be sent home, and Bobby is like, a lot of these people don't have home. So, like, this is our home. And that's when Angel appears. Ben Foster comes back. And that's when it's reinforced that this is still a place of hope. Like, this is still where mutants can come. So, and it's also at this point that Iceman learns that Rogue is gone.
Right.
And so that's brutal for him.
I don't quite remember what he does in the scene, but I know it's during this scene I have the note. This version of Beast is a dick.
Yeah, I think it's because he's like, oh, cool, this is cool.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? That's terrible.
Xavier's gone? Like, that would shit on everything Xavier stood for.
Yeah, exactly.
If a movement ends when the movement's leader leaves, it wasn't really a movement.
Yeah.
It was kind of a cult.
Yeah, and he's also, like, made arrangements for it to continue after his death.
Clearly.
Yeah.
He was appointing people.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beast, ass.
Yeah.
So Wolverine is paying his respects to Xavier's headstone when all of a sudden Jean's subconscious voice is calling out to him. And he basically grabs his belongings and heads out to go hunt her down. Storm tries to talk him out of it. Does not work. So we do see it also at this point that there's the line of mutants going to receive this cure. Rogue is there, and Iceman has come looking for her, but Pyro is also there and interjects and basically blows up the clinic. Pyro does. And that's pretty powerful. Not really suicide bomber, but, like, still.
Suicide bomber or Jace.
Yeah, he doesn't kill himself, but...
Yeah, blowing up a clinic is, a powerful, thing in our society. It happens.
Sure.
Yeah.
Magneto delivers a message that is then broadcast on television that this was only the first salvo in the Brotherhood's fight. He warns all of humanity that until the cure ceases to exist, that no human will be safe anywhere. He asks all mutants that don't want to join his fight to simply stay out of the way, which I think is very powerful. Villains who commandeer television, I think is always powerful.
It's always really cool, right?
Yeah.
Because it's beamed to everyone.
It
The fight is now public.
Oh, yeah. Anytime a television's taken over, it's so scary.
Yeah. Because we're inviting this television into our home. That's always the phrase. Is, we let the Simpsons into our home for 27 years or whatever. We let Letterman into our homes. We blah blah blah. Now this villain is in our home.
Yeah, whenever, because television has been hijacked by people who just, have, a powerful signal somehow.
Yeah.
And that's just, whenever I read about that, that's, the scariest thing in the world to me.
Arguably the scariest thing I've ever seen in a superhero movie was in Man of Steel. When Zod took over the airwaves. And it just kept saying, "You are not alone," over and over again.
Oh, that's,
different languages and stuff.
Yeah.
So effective,
It's just oh my god. Because imagine if that was real. I asked my grandmother that, and I was like, what? I showed her the clip on YouTube. She was like, stop showing me that.
Freaked her out too, though.
Yeah. We also see the president is watching this.
Damn. Crazy.
Matthew, stop showing me that. Scared old grandma. But yeah, we see the president watching this in the Oval Office, so that's pretty telling. So the president then orders Worthington Labs to be secured and arms all the troops with cure weapons, and he says he's going to give Magneto the war that he wants. So
great.
They're going to war.
By the way, he goes to war at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, come on here, Churchill.
Because it's kind of like it's a little reminiscent of the Bin Laden tapes.
Yeah.
And it's like George W. Bush had just gone to war at the drop of at a single Bin Laden tape.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I mean, he kind of did. But that was also a bad movie. That was also shitty.
This is 2006, so it wasn't completely inconceivable.
Wolverine has now tracked Jean by her scent.
Gross.
And as he reaches the camp, he's attacked by some of the mutants keeping guard. Wolverine is able to defeat them all, but Magneto, he sees Magneto delivering a speech, and as Magneto is speaking, Wolverine locks eyes with Jean. She sees him, recognizes him, but turns away. He follows her, calls out to her, she turns to face him, but then Magneto pushes him against a tree because he says he could smell his adamantium from miles away.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like, duh, Wolverine, you dumbass. He scoffs at Wolverine's assertion that he's only leaving when Jean comes with him, so Magneto just hurls him through the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's probably gone.
I wonder, he went pretty far.
Why won't Magneto just kill Wolverine?
He doesn't want to kill powerful mutants.
I know this is a question that's in the comics too, so it's really kind of unfair to ask. The answer is Hugh Jackman has a contract.
I think I have the answer for this movie. I don't think Magneto wants to kill mutants.
Interesting.
Even mutants who stand in his way.
Even mutants who stand in his way?
That's a good answer. Yeah.
Because that's not who he is.
He's that much of a militant in this movie. It certainly would fit with his betrayal of Mystique.
Even though you are my enemy, you are not my enemy.
You are my people.
You are my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just misguided.
It's like how he feels
he
like...
wants him on his side of it.
Exactly. It's like if Joe and I were on opposite sides here, be like, I'm not going to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want him on my side, you know?
Yeah.
Aw.
I might kill you.
And I just don't think that's how Magneto operates. I think that's canonically, like, I think he just wants all mutants to be on the same side.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, that's a valid interpretation.
His side.
Oh,
yeah. And that's where him and Charles differ. That's
Mm-hmm.
why they're still friends. They're frenemies. The original frenemies. So the U.S. Army, or the U.S. government is given information by Mystique, who is now just Raven. Just a girl. Just Rebecca Romaine.
Hate that she would betray mutants to the humans. Makes no sense.
And then they have that line is like, nothing like a woman scorned. And so, like that explains it.
And we see
hate that whole scene and everything
terrible.
it represents.
But we see that the army converges on the area that Mystique told them about. They see all the thermal images of all the people there, and when they go there, turns out it was Multiple Man who had duplicated himself.
How the fuck did they miss everybody leaving?
But also, that makes me think that Mystique was still ride or die for Magneto.
Oh, maybe she was
in on
double crossing. But there's no reason.
Yeah, we don't know that. Yeah.
I know. I'm just saying.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I would have
been
that.
good.
Because
maybe he planted her there to feed false information. That would have been incredible.
That would have been good.
That would have made a lot of sense, but they don't do that.
Yeah, at least they don't tell us they do
that. They don't tell us they do
that. Magneto is standing at the coastline overlooking Alcatraz Island along with the Brotherhood, and so he moves the Golden Gate Bridge to Alcatraz so they can just walk there. Sure, it's supposed to be a symbolic thing. Wolverine now has made it back to the Academy Mansion to mobilize the X-Men. Wolverine, Beast, Storm, Colossus, Iceman, Shadowcat are the X-Men. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones tasked to go fight. And we also see that Angel is seen looking out from his room. The 6 available X-Men, they go. Iceman is not. He is showing his concern at how badly outnumbered they are. And Wolverine, basically stepping up to be a leader in this moment, is saying like, "Hey, like we still gotta like get shit done. That they gotta fight with their all. That Xavier and Cyclops didn't die for this.
Yeah,
and that's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
They board the jet, and Storm asks Wolverine whether he will do what he needs to do when the time comes. Very cryptic.
Will you do the do?
Will you do? Oh! Every time you see there. So the Brotherhood has marched across the bridge. They're like fucking up cars and shit.
Yeah.
Pyro gives the signal. waves the Brotherhood, because there's a shit ton of them, to charge Alcatraz. Magneto keeps his close-knit mutants away for now, saying we're not, the pawns go first, I think is what he says.
This is not a Magneto plan, by the way.
No!
A Magneto plan is not grinder warfare, where we just send waves of troops at the problem until eventually it is conquered.
Mutants are supposed to be more refined than that.
They have powers. Why aren't they using them?
Yeah.
Everybody is just running in, and they may as well all just be a foot soldier. They may as well all just
pawns.
Yeah, pawns, literally. Whereas everyone here has a special skill.
Yeah.
It's why they're here. These skills should be used.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not like everybody here is just some brawling bruiser, unspecialized kind of mutant.
Yeah.
You know, some kind of, who's just like somebody who's like basic and strong.
Not Colossus, not Juggernaut.
Even Colossus or something.
Yeah,
Just somebody with that kind of strength. Or, you know, they have a very punchy power.
Mm-hmm.
There are people here, somebody here has got to be able to walk through a fucking wall.
They have a teleporter.
Like Kitty Pryde. Somebody here has to be a fucking teleporter. Somebody's got to be able to fly.
Where's Nightcrawler?
Very fair question. Yeah.
Nightcrawler, that'd be very interesting if he went with Magneto.
Conspicuous in his absence.
You know?
I think he would want the cure desperately.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he would go with Magneto. I think he would
true,
want the cure very badly.
And I think that would be... It's almost more powerful than Rogue.
What if you met Kurt? What if he had been the one who had been cured?
Yeah.
And at the press conference, they had brought out Kurt Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw him on TV.
I think that would have been great.
It would have been very powerful, and he's like scarred up still, but still.
Yeah.
It would have been very powerful.
That would have been...
Yeah, and like Storm was just like...
You only need him for the one scene.
Mm-hmm.
To prove that, yes, this is happening, this is real, and he is happy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would have been very effective to show that there is another side to this, and this is an option for people.
But no,
Nightcrawler looked like a literal demon. He felt like he was evil incarnate.
Yeah.
And now he has a chance at a life.
Yeah.
But no, they wanted Angel to be the first one, because it's Warren's son, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Dumb.
Yeah, he's not even the first one. We honestly don't even know if this cure really works.
Not really.
We're never shown a cured
That's
mutant.
true.
Yeah.
What trial did they use?
We're never shown a cured mutant. Mystique.
Beast Hand?
Mystique, I guess, is the one.
Yeah.
But we find that out through a weaponized, militarized schema. Yeah. Not just here you go, here's your cure.
Yeah, because if it just takes that little bullet thing, why were they strapping Angel down?
True. Just back.
Yeah.
Get him.
Get him. A lot of holes.
This is not a Magneto-style plan. It does not fit him.
So the jet arrives, landing on the roof of Alcatraz.
This whole fight is a Brett Ratner idea he had before the movie started.
Mm-hmm.
I want mutants storming Alcatraz Island.
Mm-hmm.
Let's work backwards from there.
So Magneto sends Juggernaut to go get Jimmy, the young mutant boy.
I forgot about this.
Shadowcat goes to cut him off because she can run through walls. She can probably beat him there, maybe.
She can go A to B.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't have to take turns or anything, although neither does he, really.
Yeah. Built up enough momentum, he can't be stopped. So she's able to get to Jimmy first, and then they can't phase through a wall because he zaps her power. And so Juggernaut arrives, and or first they're fighting, and she actually traps him in the ground. And here comes Joe's favorite line in the movie, is where he says, "Don't you know who I am? I'm the Juggernaut, bitch."
Okay. This is a reference to a mid-2000s, what we would now refer to as a meme, kind of video, where somebody had done crass dubbings of the 1990s X-Men TV show.
Right.
And one of them, a very popular one, was the Juggernaut yelling, "I'm the Juggernaut, bitch."
Yeah.
And they
it was funny for the first time.
Was it? And they put this in as a nod to that for literally fucking nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. This did not improve the movie-going experience for any single person.
I remember hearing about it at the time, and I was like, "You've got to be shitting me!" Like,
and this After X2 was great, and this just hearing about that going in really is the canary in the coal mine that this is not a good movie.
Oh yeah.
They did not make a good movie here. If that's in this,
I do not want to watch it.
Because it's like putting a bunch of fucking Harambe jokes in, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, if there's a fucking Harambe joke. Oh, we're gonna have to deal with those. They're really good.
Oh, well, the X series was good.
I argue, though, that those Planet of the Apes movies, first two, are better than the first two of this. So.
Sure, but they're still good. I mean, we can agree that X-Men and
Joe, don't make me worried about that movie. It's got Woody Harrelson as the villain.
Listen, this had Patty Stews.
I don't care.
This had Ian McKellan.
I don't care. They were in the first two.
This had Kelsey Grams.
That doesn't help your argument. So Juggernaut, not realizing that his power's been zapped, runs full speed, even though he wouldn't be able to build enough momentum, knocks himself unconscious. I don't know why he knocked himself unconscious if his power is zapped. He could not have run that fast in a 10-foot room. You know what I mean? So, this is the best how I can describe this scene. A bunch of stuff is happening. Stuff that really doesn't matter to the plot. And the government's fighting. They have their little weapons. Some people are getting cured. Nobody big. Just all these foot soldiers.
There's one. What's the name of that I wish I knew it off the top of my head. He is in the comics now. He's
one of the Wolverine kicks in the balls?
No, he's a pink skeleton. There's a skeleton having them pink, like gel around him.
Oh, yeah.
It's not Blob. The name isn't Blob.
Blob Herman.
Yeah, Blob Herman.
Yeah.
He's one of them. If you see for just a split second, he is there.
Oh, wow. That's the blinked.
Yeah, no, you can watch it and you have no idea.
Oh, wow.
It's really that fast. But yeah, one of them is Blob Herman, who is taking a much more prominent role in the comics. And I've been enjoying the fuck out of the way they've been bringing this younger X team forward in the comic books, by the way. It's been really, really good. He's great.
He's great.
I mean, just even in these last, 5 issues. There's, a time jump kind of thing.
He's he's one of the ones Grant Morrison created.
Yeah, and he's one of the... Grant Morrison did some great stuff, some not great stuff. He's one of the good ones, but that's the big one that I think is good.
Sure.
Sorry, a little Blob Herman side talk there.
Yeah, it's all good. So this movie's about Blob Herman. This movie's about weird shit. So we see that Kid Omega, who I don't want to call Kid Omega, Porcupine Man, kills one of the lead scientists.
Porcupine.
Which, it doesn't look like his quill should be long enough to kill her.
Yeah, she's like, oh, it stings. Oh, man.
Well, definitely not immediately kill her.
Yeah,
unless there's a poison kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Which we are never led to believe.
No. We see that Worthington is dragged to the top of the roof and thrown off, but at that point his son arrives and swoops in and saves him, and they leave. That's the last time we fucking see him. They just leave.
You should have dropped him in the water, a second.
Oops. Yeah. Sorry, Daddy. It's hard times, Daddy. I will always give a Dusty Rhodes reference if I can. So, the Brotherhood started to get their asses kicked. Storm beats up Callisto. Iceman and Pyro.
Oh, which is a reference to the comics.
Sure.
Yeah.
Iceman ices over completely for the first time in this series, which is a cool moment. And he takes down Pyro, who's been lighting cars on fire. And throwing them. And Magneto then throws them. It's not, he's just not lighting cars on fire. Wolverine and Colossus do the fastball special.
Woo.
And,
by the way, Pyro should beat Iceman. I do have a little bit of a problem with that. I know Iceman is crazy, super powerful.
He can only get to absolute zero, right?
Yeah, Omega level mutant, but just on a connect. It feels wrong that he beats
on
Pyro.
On a science level,
yeah.
I think Pyro's a dumbass, so that has to do something to do with it.
Sure.
Yeah,
maybe he just couldn't get hot enough or something. Or he just didn't...
Well, he can't generate flame.
Right. Well, maybe he just, didn't train well enough, you know?
Yeah.
He left his training, because Bobby says you should have stayed. Look how powerful I am, bitch.
Yeah.
So...
What does he do with Magneto all day?
Just, play cards.
throwing cards in hats.
Then, and we see Magneto has that hat in the beginning.
Yeah.
See, that's what we figured it out. So the fastball special, but Magneto's able to throw down Wolverine. He's like, look how dumb you are. And he's like, nah, bitch, you the dumb one. And then Beast just stabs him, so it was just a total decoy. Could have just done that.
Yeah.
If Magneto was just facing that way the entire time, Beast just could have snuck up on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
A little bit of a bitch move.
Yeah, little Bush League.
Yeah.
There, X-Men.
Listen, however you gotta get it done.
I agree, but...
Now little Bush League.
It's not an X-Men plan.
No, it's not. No.
It's not a Magneto plan, but it's also not an X-Men plan.
And we see that Magneto is like, yo, Jean, fuck shit up, dog.
Yeah,
like,
she's just been, like, hanging out.
It's literally that episode of The Simpsons where all the mafia members are fighting out in front of the Simpsons house.
The Japanese, the
Yakuza and the mafia are fighting, and the little one in the white suit is just standing there.
oh, Marge.
Like, you know he's gonna do something cool.
And then he closes the door.
It's literally that scene.
It really is, except we get to see it, and it's not worth it. So, Jean then just starts laying waste.
I can't believe this scene is still going on.
I know.
It takes a third of the movie.
God.
Jean is just laying waste to everybody, killing everybody.
Yeah.
But not the X-Men. So...
Nobody we'd recognize.
No.
And so Wolverine is like, I'm the only one who can do it. And so he is just like walking towards her, and like he's starting to disintegrate, but his healing factor is putting him back together.
Mm-hmm.
And then he manages to get to her, and he stabs her in the chest.
Yes, it's very emotional because he is killing a woman that he loves.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is, we are never, in this movie and in the franchise, they do not do anything to ever set up that they are lovers.
No.
In that way.
Not really.
I mean, physically,
Not well enough,
emotionally, there's really nothing. From the time she comes back, there's the one scene in the infirmary where they're both super horned up.
Yeah.
And then he's worried about her safety. That does not make a true love.
No, and it also, like, she's not in her right mind at all. Yeah, it's a one-sided crush at best.
Yes. Yeah, it's unrequited.
Yeah, No,
It's never earned in any of the three movies, but it plays a big part in all of the three movies.
Yeah, and beyond.
So, with the next, it cuts to the Xavier Academy. Shadowcat is standing before the graves of Xavier, Cyclops, and now Jean.
And I liked... Xavier has this big, ornate tomb
With his face on it.
And it's very regal. There's just two little gravestones to the side.
Yeah.
Jean Scott.
Yeah, like, I'm not even sure it has their last names on them.
It's like what you give a dog.
Yeah, right. Dog you had a while.
Yeah.
Here lies Buster.
Oh, was Scott and Jean like cats or something around here?
Like new people.
Yeah. No, they were full-fledged X-Men who died in a battle for the universe.
Yeah. Remember that when the Golden Gate Bridge
Yeah.
got moved?
Yeah.
So we also see that Hank McCoy has now been appointed a U.S. ambassador to the United Nations representing mutant interests because he did such a great job before.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last scene is Angel flying over the Golden Gate Bridge, and it cuts. That's not the last scene. And we see Eric Lensher playing chess in the park, and when he tries to move one of the little metal pieces, it moves a little bit.
And that's the very last...
It ticks me off.
Speak on that.
I thought he was cured.
Yeah, I don't like him getting his powers back.
You just think it does undercut the movie in a big way. That everybody's powers are coming back in. Everybody could get a cure and just wait a couple of months.
Yeah.
Wait into the distant future instead of the not too distant future.
Exactly. Yeah.
This movie sucks.
It's not good. A lot of it just doesn't make logical sense.
Because there's no stakes.
Yeah, there's no stakes at all.
You stop giving a shit after a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then there actually is a post-credit scene.
That's right.
And we see Dr. Moira McTaggart is seen in her hospital bed, or is seen walking into a hospital room of the brain-dead man that we saw when Charles was teaching his class. He's like, oh, here's my friend Moira McTaggart talking about this brain-dead man.
Yes, they were talking about the ethics of using your powers to help others, which, of course, is ethical.
You should help others.
Yes.
I didn't really understand why
that.
Yeah. He's like, should you use your powers to help others? It's like, yeah, dumbass.
Why
wouldn't you?
Why are we here?
Why wouldn't you use your powers to help someone?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't, if you had just natural intelligence to cure cancer or something, use that too.
Right, exactly.
However you get there, get there.
It's literally, it's like, I love this scene in Captain America Civil War because I kind of wrote it 2 months before I saw it as well. And Peter Parker...
You wrote it in a paper for your college.
I did, in my journalism class.
J class.
Not J class, it's not the very call. It's called J school, not J class. Joe.
I call it J class.
And so, Peter Parker said to Tony Stark, he says, if you have these powers and you choose not to help anybody, you choose not to use them, you're as bad as the bad guy. And that's true. I agree with that. And that's kind of what I feel in this situation. Like, yeah, Iceman, like, help.
Right.
If there's a building on fire, put that shit out.
Yeah.
Except build no.
Yeah.
And he's basically saying with this, he uses an example of, here we have essentially a shell of a person. There's no brain activity whatsoever. There may as well not be. There's no soul in this body. A powerful telepath could move someone's consciousness who's about to die into this body. So, would that be cool to do? We'll find out later, I guess, or maybe not. Bye, camera, and then they move to the next scene. And then we have this post-credit.
And we see that the man's face turns to her and says, "Hello, Moira," in Xavier's voice. And she is frozen, and she just replies, "Charles?" And then it ends.
By the way, your voice is not dictated by your brainwaves. Your voice is dictated by your vocal cords, which are a physiological thing.
He's that powerful.
Apparently. Or he just built this body knowing this would happen to him one day. So yeah, Xavier's still alive, technically.
Yep. His consciousness is.
Dopeness. It also undercuts a big stake in this movie.
Yep.
So the last 2 scenes of this movie are making sure that this movie didn't really happen.
Right, exactly.
So we've gone through a lot of our problems in this movie. Is there anything else you guys want to speak on about the plot?
No.
No.
Yeah. I feel like we got it all out.
It's pretty much, every time they tried to do something, they immediately went back and kicked it at the door.
Yeah, 100%. Let's talk about some of the acting performances, at least in this movie.
They try.
Patrick Stewart plays Professor Xavier.
Good actor, tough role to do in this movie.
Good actor, tough role.
Not
he does his best job not to make this character a flaming asshole.
Yep.
A giant dick.
Not gay, but...
Yeah, no, well, come on. Hey. Speaking of, Ian McKellan, Magneto. Wait, how do you guys think he did?
I think he's, yeah.
I thought he actually did a lot of good work in this movie.
Yeah, I think he's great.
I think he did a lot of really strong work in this movie. I think ideologically he was really allowed to stretch his acting muscles.
Yeah.
So I like that a lot.
It's a very strong... It's the most Magneto movie we've had.
Yes, 100%.
So, I mean, he's finally given a lot to do. Charles is taken out of commission for, in the middle
for the third. Yeah, last 60% of the movie.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Famke Janssen as Jean Grey / Phoenix.
This needed to be her coming out party. It was not. She also didn't have much dialogue, which is like, how can you expect her to honestly do that well without dialogue?
Right, yeah.
I guess, can the Phoenix talk?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's always talking. You can't shut the Phoenix up.
Well, no, I'm saying in this movie.
Management.
I'm saying in this movie. Can she talk?
Yeah, sure. She's trying to horn up Wolverine and stuff. Yeah.
I guess. It was just...
Yeah, just shitty. She's not a particularly good actress. I feel bad saying it, but there we are. Who else do we have in this movie? We have Hugh Jackman playing Wolverine, of course.
Right. Yeah.
He's fine. He's poorly written.
Very poorly written. I don't think Hugh Jackman really... I think he phoned it in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He phoned this one in. This is the one Wolverine movie where I feel like he really was not there.
Yeah. I got the feeling he thought this was his last one.
Yeah. But then he eventually gets his own franchise, which also has big problems.
Right.
Yeah, but
Logan's coming.
It could be good.
What if they fuck us again?
Joe, don't say that.
We were excited for Fantastic Four.
Joe, my life's already hard. At least let me have Logan.
Who else is in this movie? James Marsters plays
Marston.
Scott Marston. I apologize. Plays Scott Summers.
Not in this
Cyclops.
movie, so I can't really talk about him.
He's not. He didn't do anything.
Yeah,
He cries.
He's sad, and then
he's upset. Yeah, and I thought
he does good work
upset,
for what he's given. But he is given, looking over this trilogy, a shockingly small amount of things to do.
Considering how important Cyclops is to.
He's the leader of the goddamn X-Men. He's not in the last two movies.
And how good of an actor James is.
Yeah, and he's doing good stuff.
He's on Westworld, y'all.
Yeah, he's in 30 Rock.
Yeah. He's a big part of 30 Rock.
Show some respect.
Put some respect on that name.
Y'all being silly.
Halle Berry.
Halle Berry plays Aurora Monroe.
Yeah, they really increased her role in this movie.
Yes, they did.
And that was because she had won the Academy Award in Monsters Ball.
In the meantime, yeah.
Yes, in between 2 and 3. She's not particularly good in this movie.
No.
She's not a particularly good actress. She had a really effective role at one point in her life. Good for her. And she's been good in some things, but her oeuvre is not stellar.
Not really.
She's not great here.
No, nobody comes off well here.
Yeah. I really think James Marston... Marston, I had it right. And your boy's been doing a rewatch on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And Ian McKellan...
Who cares, Joe?
and Ian McKellan are the only two people I think come across really well.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kelsey Grammer.
I was just going to say...
I just wish he fell through the stage again.
Oh!
Pretending to be a UN interpreter.
The best thing he's ever done is Sideshow Bob, so
yeah.
that has not changed after watching this movie again.
Yeah.
Anyone else that you guys feel like we need to talk about?
Sean Ashmore, you're fine.
Yeah.
He's Iceman. Anna Paquin, fine.
Fine.
I always find her annoying.
Yeah.
Ellen Page.
Fine.
She does fine.
Kitty Pryde, yeah.
Her one ice skating scene.
It's like she got to call Juggernaut
And I don't really.
dickhead.
Yeah. And I don't really like the character of Kitty Pryde very much, but I like Ellen Page.
Yeah, Ellen Page rules. So.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys want to rate and rank this movie?
It's last. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's definitely last. But if you had to give it out of 5, what would you give it?
Oh, and
1.
A
I
1?
don't know if I'd give it a 1. I might give it a 3.
A 3. Wow, I was going to go like 1.5.
Whoa.
I feel like 3 is a little... But I mean, if that's what you feel, that's what you feel.
Yeah, it's fine.
Because it's got some, it's still got good actors in it.
Yeah, that's true.
And
it does present ethically interesting questions.
That's a 60%.
It offers interesting things and then completely abandons
no, I
them.
thought it was at a 10. My bad.
Oh, no, so you really do feel it's about a 1.5. Yeah, I said out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah, so you're saying about 1.5 as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah, we were like 3 out of 5. God damn, Melissa, going hard on it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Yeah.
Matt, tell people how to get a hold of the show.
You can find us at facebook.com/UpUpAndAwayShow. You can find us on Twitter at UpUpAndAwayShow. You can find us on Instagram, UpUpAndAwayPodcast. Or if you want to email the show in a big long letter, to yell at us, you can email the show at UpUpAndAwayPodcast@gmail.com.
And make sure you subscribe to the show. Tomorrow we have an episode coming out that's a recap of all the superhero TV shows that came out through the week.
Guys, there was twists this week. You want to tune in.
There was events and happenings.
There was 2 big twists. There's one in Supergirl and one in Arrow. At least the shows I had to cover.
There was a little bit of a twist in Gotham. There was events.
Bet it wasn't as big as mine.
God damn that. Okay, it's not a competition.
It is a competition. Bring it!
It's not a competition. It says losers.
Joe, I need to start winning. So.
And so Tuesday we're also going to have an episode coming out about all the news that's happening.
News.
And then next week we need to review a new set of movies, Matt.
Oh shit!
Did you not think about that?
Fuck. No, I had like stuff in my mind, but I didn't pick.
Well, you need to fucking.
I'm gonna pick.
Oh, who's picking?
Matt's picking.
I'm picking.
Oh, we're gonna pick Blade?
No, I think I'm gonna go with Phase 2.
Phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
You salty son of a bitch. That's where I thought you were gonna go.
Oh man, yeah.
Okay, there you go. We're gonna start with Iron Man 3 then.
Melissa's not happy.
Could have gone Blade.
Could have gone Blade. I mean, you have the right to switch it up until Tuesday. I would say you have the right to switch.
Yep.
So we'll see. For all
Probably
listeners,
won't.
and up away. Yeah, you're not going to think about this again.
No.
Overthinking has never been.
You're gonna ask me again on Tuesday, be like, no, we'll just stick with it.
Okay, we'll talk to you guys soon here on Up and Away.
I'll be up and away, 'cause they gon' judge me anyway.